Hi, in this session, we will discuss regarding the recent changes made by the IASB in respect of conceptual framework, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Just go through the playlist on the YouTube for understanding the areas of changes made into the conceptual framework. Let's begin. First, Chapter 1. Chapter 1 deals with the objective of the financial reporting, and Chapter 2 deals with the qualitative characteristics of useful financial information. So we will go through each of the item in detail regarding the changes that are introduced by the IASB. Let's begin our journey. The first, Chapter 1. This chapter describes the objective of the general purpose financial reporting and the information that is needed to achieve the objective and who uses the financial reports. The critical change is the introduction of stewardship. The board set out the information needed to access the management stewardship and separate this information that users needs to assess the prospects of the entity's net cash flows. Both information require for decision making and achievement of the overall objective of the financial statements. The term was primarily removed in the 2010 conceptual framework, and now the board has introduced or reintroduced the term stewardship. So the major amendment here is when you read the conceptual framework, the board has given importance to the stewardship that need to be represented by the management, apart from the financial information needs. Chapter 2. The Chapter 2 deals with the qualitative characteristics of the useful financial information. So what are the information that are required to be present in the financial statement to achieve the objective and to cater the requirements of the users of the financial statement? So this chapter clarifies that the information provided in the financial statement should be relevant and it must faithfully represent the substantive financial information. When we talk about substantive financial information, the one thing comes to my mind is a substance over form, which means that, for example, even if I'm not owning any asset, but I have the right to control the use of the asset. So now I'm talking about a definition of an asset, which means if I'm going to see the substance of the transaction, may not be the legal owner, but I do control the benefits of the assets. So it should be recognized as an asset in my financial statements. This is what case that I can refer in respect of the faithful representation of the financial information. Also, the board had introduced two concepts, the prudence and measurement uncertainty, in the conceptual framework. So we will discuss these two items in detail in the next slide. But prior to this interpretation, users of the financial statement are of the opinion that prudence as being cautious when decision making or providing judgment under the conditions of uncertainty. So basically what IASB did, they removed the doubt of the interpretation of prudence. What do you mean by prudence? So they mentioned that the concept prudence means neutrality of information that would sufficient to meet the goals of the financial information users of the financial statements. So which means that it's not like any kind of cautiousness that we need to follow. It's just the information neutrality. Information neutrality is the primary objective of the financial statement. Second, measurement uncertainty. In the revised conceptual framework, the board has acknowledged that the measurement uncertainties is a factor that can affect the faithful representation. For example, in some cases, relevant information may have a high level of measurement uncertainty, even though a particular information is very relevant to understand a financial statement. But measuring that amount comes with a very high level of uncertainty, which may reduce the usefulness of the information. Hence, slightly less relevant information with a lower measurement certainty may be preferable over any relevant information which have a very high level of uncertainty. So basically, this is chapter 1 and chapter 2. If someone wants to summarize chapter 1, they change the objective of financial reporting, they introduce the concept of management stewardship in the financial statement understanding. And 2, the qualitative characteristics, they have redefined the concept of prudence. Also, they introduce the concept of material uncertainty. If there is uncertainty in respect of a particular material item, even though it's material. We can go for a substandard information if that information is can be reliably measured. So these two are the major changes in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Thank you.